Welcome back into the NFL Every Game on the Board podcast with our closer, Minty Bets. Follow her on Twitter at Minty Bets. Minty, welcome in. How you feeling?
I'm feeling okay, Drew. How are you?
I'm feeling optimistic, Minty. We got, I don't want to say good or bad, but interested in your opinion here of what the 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific kicks. We got a couple of them, plus the Sunday nighter. We're going down the rotation order here, the second half of the card. We got Seattle at Arizona kicking it off, 4-6-7, 4-6-8. Looks like 3.5. That's the Seahawks laying on the highway, 56 being the total in Arizona, Minty.
Yeah, so I actually really like this matchup. I'm kind of scared to bet it, but I'm definitely going to bet it. The Cardinals, to me, are phenomenal in these divisional games when it comes to covering the spread. In this matchup, the Cardinals are 6-1-1 against the spread against the Seahawks. The Seahawks, great with the backdoor cover. It worries me if I want to bet. Hello, Davey. It worries me to bet against the Seahawks because I don't like to bet against Russell Wilson. The Cardinals, although they looked sloppy against the Cowboys in that first quarter, they really picked it up. Kyler's great. I think he's such a great quarterback alongside with Hopkins and Fitzgerald. This team can really get it together. But I think that this line is so short for my liking with the Seahawks. I'll have to take the 3.5 with the Cardinals. Anything lower than that, then I would switch to the Seahawks. But I think the Seahawks win with this one. I think it's going to be really close, but I would lean the Cardinals for this one.
Yeah, well, I mean, watching the Cardinals offense last game, they looked on fire. Cliff Kingsbury dialing it up, you talked about. I mean, just the quarterback running ability there is something that is difficult for any defense. So I think it's going to be, tough on Seattle here. And you're right, at the 3 in the hook, really at the 3 number, it's more about picking the winner here. And I like, catching 3 in the hook, the home team. I like Arizona as well, Minty. We got San Francisco at New England up next. Looks like 469, 470, the rotation numbers. If you're following along at home, 43.5 being the total. New England Patriots -2 in Foxborough.
Ooh, that has definitely moved. Okay, so I'm not too excited to watch this game because I feel like it's going to be a slow game. The Niners did a great job at holding the Rams to only 16 points last week, I think. I still feel a little confused about the San Francisco team because sometimes they seem really good and sometimes they're not, but they're also riddled with injuries, but also getting players back. It's just I don't know if they're suffering from a Super Bowl hangover or what. But as for the Patriots, Cam Newton didn't look that good last week against the Broncos. I think the under is a play for me here. I think both defenses can slow each other down, and I see a lot of back and forth, but I do lean the Niners to cover here.
Yeah, 43.5 being the total. Yeah, definitely a slower paced game for sure. I'm with you there, Minty. And, the Patriots, one thing I noticed with Cam Newton last week is, he was running around a pretty good bit, but whenever he would get tackled and get up, it almost seemed like he was a little bit fatigued and getting off of COVID. I wonder if there's something to that.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he seemed a little bit slow, so we'll have to keep an eye on that.
Yeah, and Cam Newton, one of those guys where when he's on and motivated, you kind of want your money behind him, but when he's not and he's got that white towel over his head and he's sitting on the bench kind of pouting, he's kind of fade city. So I like to bet, with or against Cam Newton, kind of depending on his motivation.
Yes, when he's in a slump, he just stays in that slump and it just goes downhill from there. But when he's on, he is on fire. So I totally agree with you.
Yeah, and I think it's as simple as when he's on the sideline and he's got that white towel around him and he's yelling around and smiling, you want to be betting on him. But then when he puts it over his head and he sits on the bench, that's kind of the times you want to be fading him. I bet if you went back. Yeah, back in history, in-game live, betting him, if you ever notice that, it might be a good entry or exit point on the Patriots. But, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say the towel. I'll have to look out for that now on the sidelines.
Yeah, it's something I've noticed. Yeah, we got San Francisco, New England in the books. Now we got Kansas City at Denver up next. The Chiefs, -9.5 road favorites here, Minty. 46 being the total a mile high.
Oh, crap. I actually don't have that game. Okay, so repeat that for me. Chiefs and who?
Yeah, we got Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs laying 9.5 or 10 a mile high at Denver. So 45.5 or 46 being the total. Drew Lock last week for Denver. his numbers weren't that great, but Denver beating the aforementioned Patriots last week, for whatever reason, it seemed to kind of go their way. And now Kansas City, having to go a mile high here is a question mark always, but laying 10 on the road is, I don't know, interested in your thoughts. Any quick thoughts on this one?
Yeah, quick thoughts because I didn't have any notes on this, but it's okay because this matchup is pretty familiar here. Yeah, they're laying a lot on the road here, but I can see against Denver. I mean, is Drew Lock going to be starting for this game? I guess that we would have to factor that in. I'm actually looking ahead to the Chiefs next week because I think I've mentioned before, those teams that played in Mile High tend to not catch up and not catch their breath the week after and won't cover the week after typically. I don't know the exact trend or stat on that, but I actually would look to the Chiefs to cover here. I mean, although 10 points here is a lot against the Broncos, it just seems kind of like a no-brainer. The Broncos have so many key injuries and they just looked sloppy against the Patriots last week. I would have to lean to the Chiefs, but I'm not going to bet this one.
No, interesting you bring that up. Leaving Denver being a kind of trend there. ATS, it's almost like in hockey, leaving Las Vegas for when you would play the Knights. That was a losing proposition. So it's something similar to that, Minty?
Yeah, something like that. Something like the Vegas flu, but it takes a week at least to kind of get acclimated to your own altitude or to a different altitude after Denver. It's very tiring coming back.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we got 473, 474 up next. Tampa Bay Bucks at the Las Vegas Raiders. We're seeing Tampa Bay -3 in the hook, 51.5 in Allegiant Stadium, Minty.
I see this matchup and I automatically think over. I know the Bucks have the best run defense in the league. And they're not bad against the pass either, but maybe they'll score all the points. Who knows? Maybe the Raiders after their bye week are going to kind of be good competition against the Bucs and it'll kind of be a shootout, but I really like the over here. I think both teams are pretty highly ranked in scoring offense as the Raiders are 7th and the Bucs are 12th, I think. So give me the over, especially it went down from 53 to 51, you said. I especially like that.
And Minty, talking the Las Vegas Raiders here, do you think we'll get fans in the stadium anytime soon?
I don't think so. You know what? UNLV football is supposed to start back up pretty soon because the Mountain West is starting back up. Our first game at home, I believe, is on Nevada Day, which is Halloween Day, and it's against UNR, and I really want to go, but they're at the moment aren't allowing any fans, not even family or friends of the players. So we'll see. I think they're still trying to get it approved, but I don't really see it happening anytime soon.
Okay, so Las Vegas local legislation, you don't have any insides being a Las Vegas Raiders?
No insider information, unfortunately.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I want to go check that stadium out too. Right down the road here. It looks awesome from the outside, but still no fans for both college and
but
NFL.
You can I would love to hear from the chat too. So the Raiders are offering to season ticket holders a tailgating experience, but you have to pay $400 for 2 parking spots, one for your car and then one for the grill and social distancing from the car next to you. And you get to watch the game outside the stadium. And I think as a season ticket holder, I already paid my dues and I shouldn't have to pay $400. And if you want an all-inclusive, with beer and drinks and everything, it's $500. And I just think it's kind of ridiculous. Don't you think?
Yeah, that seems really pricey just to be in the
parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the time that the game starts, I mean the sun is just setting and it's just blaring and the hottest time of day. So I don't really like that, and I don't really agree with them charging season ticket holders that much money for 2 parking spots.
Yeah, I don't know. That seems pricey for me. And I'm a big fan of tailgating whenever I get the choice, especially October in Las Vegas. I mean, the weather is beautiful here. So, I maybe just kind of hang out in your backyard and watch it outside would be a little bit better of a business deal. But we got Pittsburgh at Tennessee up next, Minty. 477, 478, the rotation numbers here. 1 o'clock. Eastern kick here, so 10 a.m. Pacific kick. 2 good teams, Minty. We got the Titans laying 1 at home, 50.5 the total in Nashville.
Okay, so I know this is a season of overs, but I have a trend that's going to blow your freaking mind. And this was from Ralph Michaels. Since 2014, the Steelers on the road, just playing on the road, they don't have to be favorites or dogs, are 78.2% to the under. And they're able to control the tempo so well on the road. So I think the total is nice and high here. And I'm hoping it gets set up by kickoff, but I really like the under here.
Wow. Okay. So like in the under,
78% to the under. Yeah. It's like 832 and 2 or something to the under.
In do you mind just repeating what it was exactly?
Yeah. Since 2014, the Steelers on the road are 78.2% to the under.
That's it. Just Pittsburgh on the road.
That's it. Since 2014. Yeah. They've only hit the over 8 times on the road since 2014.
All right. Well, let us. Yeah, that's a wild one that would have been that long of a trender. Let us know in the chat box, guys, if you're watching live here. The NFL Every Game on the Board podcast, simulcast live on the WagerTalk YouTube channel, also wherever you're downloading your podcast at Sports Memo Podcast. Let us know. I mean, that's a long trend there, 78% towards the under as the away team for the Pittsburgh Steelers here. So it's 50.5 being the total. We got Jacksonville at the LA Chargers up next to finish off the Sunday card here. 479, 480. It is 49.5 being the total with the LA Chargers minus 7.5. If I called them the San Diego Chargers in the intro, sorry about that. It is the LA Chargers.
I didn't notice. But it's okay. This is a no bet for me. The Chargers favored by more than a touchdown. That's crazy. So I saw earlier that they were favored by 8.5 points, and that was ridiculous. A team that's lost 4 straight, but they're 3-1-1 against the spread. I get it, but they were underdogs when they covered those. So I don't like that. This situation being favored more than touchdown is crazy to me. But the Jags have lost their last 4 by 8 or more points, so I understand where the line is. I have no lean for this on the side or the total. This is going to be a little hard. I might lean to the under here if it was at 49.5 or 49. So we'll have to see. This one's a really tough one.
Yeah, totally okay, Minty. No need to pepper every game on the board here. Plus the fact Jacksonville, like you kind of touched on, started off hot, beating Indy, and then also 2-0 ATS, and then since then they've fallen off a cliff here. So this is a tough one. I lean Chargers minus the points, but I doubt I get involved either, Minty. So that's it for the Sunday card. We got the Monday nighter coming up. Guys, follow Minty on Twitter at Minty Bets. Also, Yahoo Sportsbook, she's holding it down there. The WagerTalk Instagram, it's blowing up. If you got an Instagram account, check it out. WagerTalk Instagram. Minty, anything else you wanted to throw out where people can find you?
Nope, that's it. Just Instagram WagerTalk, and on Twitter Minty Bets and Yahoo Sportsbook. And guys, I'm seeing in the comments that you guys think it's also ridiculous that they're charging $400 to park your car during the game to watch the game. So yes, it is crazy. Thanks for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, for sure. Everybody joining us live in the chat box. Davey Jones, we got Jared23, all you guys, Nathan Gold, Proud Babylonian, like the name, and welcome in. So we got the Monday nighter to finish it off here. Last NFL game we will talk. We'll also bring in Jeff from Oskeim Sports at 4:00 Pacific time to break down the rest of the college football Every Game on the Board podcast. But last game up for Minty and for the NFL, Chicago Bears at the LA Rams. We're seeing the Rams minus 645 being the total, Minty.
So both these teams' defenses are allowing an average of 19 points per game from their opponents. The Bears winning these ugly games and the Rams coming off a brutal loss to the Niners. I was on the Rams. I think both defenses step it up, and I think it'll be a low-scoring, slow game. But crazy things have always happened in the end. So I might also put some money down on the first half under what I'm assuming is like maybe 23. Anything lower than 23 I might not take, but first half under 23 would look good to me too. Okay.
All right. Good stuff, Minty. Also interesting to note here, and I'm just noticing this looking at the odd screen right now, the LA Chargers playing on Sunday, and then we got the LA Rams playing on Monday. Don't normally see that with the New York or LA teams, Minty.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of weird. I didn't really notice that, actually.
But either way, they're going to play the game.
Either way, we got football.
Yeah. So nothing wrong with that. But guys, hopefully you like the content here. If you did on YouTube, please smash the like button. And also, if you're watching on replay, feel free to drop a line in the comments below on the WagerTalk YouTube channel. Minty, is there anything else you wanted to throw out at all before we shut this down?
That's it. I appreciate the familiar names that I see that are joining us today. So thank you so much for joining us. I like to keep my segments very short because Drew has had a long day and I've had a long day, and I know people don't want to listen to this drag on. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Hey, they want picks and a reason why, Minty. That's what people join us for, and it's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. So whether you follow or you fade, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
All right, guys, for Minty Bets on Twitter, at Minty Bets. Follow me on Twitter, at Drew Martin Bets. Guys, best of luck with your bets, and we'll be right back with the College Football Every Game on the Board podcast.
There we go.